My name is Ashley, I'm from Life Beyond Locks, and I am so excited to be an education ambassador with UniWigs. I first heard about UniWigs in the summer of 2022. That's when I started my Instagram account, Life Beyond Locks, and initially I started the account just to share my journey in hair loss and in finding alternative hair with others. You see, I've had progressive thinning most of my adult life. In fact, my grandmother wore a wig in the late 80s, early 90s, before wigs were what they are today. And my mother also had very thin hair. I went to see a dermatologist just after the birth of my second child. It was really after the birth of my first that I noticed how much my hair had thinned. And she took one look at my scalp and told me that I was the worst case she had ever seen for my age. She didn't do any blood work, refused a biopsy, sent me a prescription that had a whole bunch of negative side effects, and said, well, you might want to look into prosthetics. At the time, I was very upset. I left the office crying, and I thought, I can't believe that she's telling me to look into wigs. I'm only in my 20s. Fast forward a couple of months, and I had adjusted to the idea. I started looking at YouTube videos from two women who were really informative and well-versed in the world of wigs. Their pieces looked so good on them, and I thought, if they can do it, I can do it. The problem was that I was looking at women who were not in my demographic, and the pieces that looked good on them weren't really meant for me. Nonetheless, I took the plunge. I purchased 3 pieces, and I eagerly awaited their arrival. When they arrived to my home, I tried them on and realized they were just totally wrong for me, and I wasn't able to return them. So I was out $1,000, and I felt like I had no hope when it came to my hair loss. I started using hair fibers, and they just made a big mess. I was using far too many to try to hide every single spot that I could. And it was only sometime later, when I first had my own private Instagram account, that I stumbled upon hair toppers, which is what I'm wearing right now. And I didn't know until that point that human hair was even a possibility in wigs, and I certainly didn't know what a topper was. When I realized that hair toppers existed, I thought, there's a real possibility for me. It's the perfect transition piece between my own bio hair and wearing wigs, because it allows me to blend my own bio hair in. And I did a bit of research on the company that I was eyeing, and I took the plunge a few months later and never looked back when it came to wearing alternative hair. In the summer of 2022, when I was given the opportunity from UniWigs to try on one of their pieces, I didn't realize what a world it would open up for me. And I'm so glad that that opportunity was provided, because it taught me very quickly that alternative hair doesn't have to be expensive to be beautiful. And in turn, I've been able to pass that on to other women. I've also been able to see a little bit of behind the scenes from UniWigs, and I have to tell you, I was most impressed with the way that they run their company. They do so with kindness and compassion and understanding, and I really believe it is their mission to empower women and to provide affordable options. Since that time, I've been able to work more closely with UniWigs, try on other pieces, go live with them, and provide educational content. I think the most rewarding part of working with this company over the last year and a bit has been the emails that I'm getting and the DMs that I'm getting from women I've worked with. They send me pictures of themselves in their new UniWigs pieces, and they're very happy with what they've received, and they feel like it's good value. It makes me feel good to help other people, and it makes me feel good to know that the pieces I'm recommending are being well received. And to date, I haven't had a single person say that they regretted their purchase of the UniWigs piece that I suggested for them, and that's just a really good feeling. Moving forward, I hope that I can continue to provide educational content. I look forward to seeing the new lines of products that UniWigs comes out with, and really I just look forward to sharing and watching this community grow. If you had asked me 5 years ago if I imagined myself being on camera and sharing my story, I definitely would have said no. I'm a private person, and I'm actually a high school teacher, so the thought of my videos floating around out there was just something that I never thought I would do. And it was really understanding that I needed to put myself out there for other women who are just like me that made it possible. Had I found someone who was similar in terms of her time in life, her place in life, her age, I might not have made the decisions that I made that set me back sometime. UniWigs has been able to do something pretty remarkable. They have in the alternative hair space created a community of women who uplift each other, who champion each other, who support each other. And they do all this while providing alternative hair at truly affordable prices. We become more and more aware of how widespread female hair loss is. I think having these options is very important, and having this online supportive community will help women to avoid making costly mistakes early on. It will help them to make the decisions that are best for them early on, and in turn they will be able to start living their lives not worrying about their hair loss. And I think that that is really the ultimate goal for any woman who has gone through it and come out the other side, is to be able to help other women to come out on the other side and feel better about herself and feel like she has a supportive community behind her. Thank you, UniWigs, for the opportunity to be an education ambassador. I look forward to seeing what you do next.